Hey everybody, Justin here with the BTR Garage. Today we're going to be going over the oil analysis that I got back from Blackstone Labs from the oil change that I just did on my BRZ not too long ago. Now if you remember when I changed the oil to the Motul 300V just recently, I had the little Blackstone test kit. It comes in this little black box with a little container in it which you capture some oil from your oil change in there to send off to them for testing. I captured the Royal Purple 0W20 oil, which is what I had in the car for the first 5,000 miles or so, and then sent it off to Blackstone for analysis. What they do is they send you back a report with all kinds of good information on it and a summary of what they found. So I have the report printed out in front of me. We'll go ahead and just get right into it. It's pretty straightforward, but has a lot of good information, and I'll read off the summary section first. Basically, it says the initial sample from your BRZ has some extra metals and silicon in it. These aren't surprising finds because it appears to be only the second oil change. It's a new car. This type of stuff is expected to be in there on new cars because the engine is still kind of breaking in and wearing in. So some of that stuff comes apart and ends up in your oil. And according to Blackstone, that is a normal situation. Ideally, we'll see those values go down here in the near future after a couple more oil changes, and then they'll fall more in line with the averages that are shown up on this particular chart here. So let's look at the actual values that we're looking at in the sample. So there's all kinds of different elements or metals that are found in the oil. Again, like they had said, lots of extra metals and silicon in it. So we've got stuff like aluminum, chromium, iron, copper, titanium, potassium, boron, silicon, sodium, all kinds of stuff in there. And then it shows us the values that came out of our particular oil change and then universal averages that they see from all of their testing. So looking at the chart here, we can see that iron and copper and even aluminum are all higher values than what the universal averages are. So again, just stuff wearing off of the engine on the inside as a new car would during these first 5 or 10,000 miles. I guess in this case it was 5,000 miles because that's what this oil change came from. And then there are a few others down on the elements section that are over the averages as well. So hopefully when I do this test again and maybe another oil change or two, we'll send in another analysis and see what we get back to see how these values change, and you can kind of see how your engine is wearing over time. Now down on the bottom section it has a list of different properties and what the values should be. So viscosity, a couple different viscosity ratings it's looking at. My ranges were within the values that they should be. Flash point, fuel, antifreeze, water, insolubles, and a couple other things that looks like they weren't measured. The key things here, in my opinion, is fuel, antifreeze, and water. Obviously you don't want traces of that in your oil. That means you have some kind of leak going on, whether it's a head gasket, some other leak where antifreeze coolant is getting into your oil. Not a good thing. But for my car, those all measured at zeros and no harm going on there. So that is good news. So all in all, a good first report for my BRZ and pretty much as expected. I mean, the car is a 2017 model. It has just over 10,000 miles on it. And this particular oil sample, again, is for the last 5,000 miles or so. Now what would be really interesting, and I'm going to do in the future, is actually take an oil sample of my old 1994 BMW, the 325 IS that I have for my Time Attack car. That one should show quite a different readout from an oil sampling perspective than what the new BRZ looks like. So maybe I'll do an oil analysis on that one and report back to you guys on what that one looks like and just kind of compare, you know, a 24-year-old car to a brand new car. All right, so there we go. Quick video for you guys of the Blackstone oil analysis on my 2017 Subaru BRZ. If you guys have any thoughts, comments, or questions, please leave them down below. Like always, I love to hear from you. Stay fast out there. I am checking out. Talk to you all next time.